What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Thunder Sports Pod with JT and
The stash, baby. We back again. Another great week. Another moment for to capture some sports knowledge.
yes, sir. So we're going to start off RIP today. First topic at hand. We're going to talk about a little bit of the MVP race in the NBA. So, who are your front runners currently in the NBA stash?
Easy. I got Luca. I don't think there's any debate on Luca. I think Luca's an obvious choice. I think Jokic. I think SGA because SGA's been tearing it up,
Hmm.
and Jason Tatum. Those are my top four. I think all those guys have a shot at it. I think it will come down to like the end of the year to really determine, especially with the 65 rule. We can't forget about it now. It's a thing. We got to
Yep.
talk about it a little bit. So 65 rule will play a little bit of a factor depending on people's injuries. Some people would probably try to throw Giannis in there, I would see, but in my mind, I think it's those top four. That's what I'm looking at. I would probably maybe put him at five, like
Hmm.
Giannis, but that's about it.
I full heartedly agree with you. I think those are the four guys you mentioned right there. You got Jokic, SGA, Luca, and Tatum. I mean, all four of those guys, they're going to make the playoffs, and especially with Jason Tatum leading the Celtics to the number one seed in the East, they've got the best record in the NBA in general. So they tend to give the award to a player if it's close that has the better record. So hypothetically, if it's between Jokic and Tatum at the end of the year, and the Celtics have a better record by a good margin, it could be Tatum's MVP to lose. But we'll have to wait and see. SGA's been balling. Luka's been balling. The Mavs have been on a tear recently. So,
I love the TikToks I've been seeing about Luca, and it's like if Luca did that, his average would go down. They're great. They're great. Everybody's been
yeah.
making them. They're fantastic.
Hmm. And Kyrie Irving, let's talk about him a little bit real quick. He's been a great teammate for Luka Doncic this year. He's stepping into that Mavs offense and really delivering. The last few games especially. So it'll be interesting come playoff time to see if they can sustain that high level of play. But Denver's got that pedigree, man.
Mm-hmm.
Denver's got the pedigree for the playoff success, and the West is the wild, wild West, and it's going to be hard to beat each other.
There's a lot of good teams in the West, so I mean, it's
Yeah,
definitely gonna be a cutthroat until the end. So
for sure. But let us know down below, everybody. Who do you have winning the MVP, and who is in your MVP race currently? But we'll go ahead and move on to some more NBA talk. So, which player is best suited to become the next face of the NBA? I'll let you go ahead and start this one.
ooh, that's a good topic. That's a good topic.
Mhm.
Who's gonna be the next face of the NBA? There's a couple different people you could think of. Well, right now, the way he's come out and how he's been playing, I want to throw Wemby in the mix.
Mm,
I know he's a rookie, but sometimes look at LeBron. LeBron took over the league his rookie year, so I can't say a whole
yeah.
lot. Like that is crazy. Luca's got a chance. Tatum's got a chance. I don't. It's not Jokic because Jokic doesn't care about that. It's not his style. Luke,
Yeah, exactly.
Kyrie doesn't care. Like he's too old. Like some of the players are too like. It's not KD. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
KD. It's not you. But there's a couple young guys I want to throw in there. Maybe Booker, but like I think Booker will let the
Mm.
fame go to his head even more.
Hey, John Morant.
No. John Morant's got to go a season without I don't know how to put this in a polite way. Getting in trouble.
Yeah, there we go. Um, I think you nailed it for the most part. Some of those guys definitely have a good opportunity to be the face of the NBA in the future. And they've got to have that postseason success to really submit themselves as the face of the league because you can't be the face of the NBA if you don't win in the playoffs and if you don't make it far because that's when everybody tunes in. That's when realistically the views start coming in. NBA finals, Western Conference finals, Eastern Conference finals, like that's when you start to make a name for yourself. And you've got to really prove it to your peers. Um, for me personally, I think Anthony Edwards has the best
Oh,
chance
that's
of being the
another one.
face of the league
That's another one.
because he's just a dog, man. Extremely young. A lot of people have been saying he's got that Michael Jordan mentality. Just like very similar in their play style and the way they move, but that's a bit premature to call him in any comparison to Michael Jordan. But he's definitely a young star in the making, and he's going to continue to improve next season, I feel like. But it'll be interesting to see where the Wolves go in the playoffs because if they can make a deep push, Anthony Edwards has a really good case at being the face of the NBA in the future. But one other person I would like to mention real quick, Jason Tatum. I think him and Anthony Edwards, them two players have the best case to be the face of the NBA because you look at it like this. Jason Tatum this season, he's leading the Celtics to the best number one seed in the East. They're just obliterating everybody. They just beat the Warriors by 52 today. 52 points, everybody. And I don't see anybody competing with them in the East this year, so they should have a pretty easy run to the finals, unless something shocks me. But
Orlando Magic,
Orlando Magic, Paulo Banchero.
the
But
Wagners. Let's
yes,
go.
sir. But and also he's been to the Eastern Conference Finals 4 out of the last 6 years. So consistency has been there. He's won 52 playoff games in his career with the Celtics, SGA, Halliburton, and the rest of those young guys. Anthony Edwards, they've won 0 playoff games to their name. So, like I was just mentioning, you've got to have some playoff success to really cement yourself as the face of the NBA going forward for this next generation. And I think Tatum and Ant have the best chance to do so.
I think Ant's a good take. And like I mentioned Tatum in it. Ant's really good. I will go 100% right.
Oh
He's
yeah.
so good. Um, I want to see more before I can really give it to him just yet. But like some of the other guys I watch play, like
Mhm.
Luca's incredible.
He
SGA
is. He's
this year
crazy.
has blown me
Yeah.
away with like I did not expect him to be this good.
Oh yeah.
Like so he's another one that's just like wow. He came out like I did not see that
Yeah.
coming. Chet is actually still. I think Chet's very good too. I know he's not as good as Wimbe in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some hate from that from Caleb for sure, but I think Wimbe's could be a definitely be it. Like he's. I think he could really be the next face.
I agree. I mean, Wembanyama's definitely he surprised me a lot because I didn't think he was going to be this good as he is right now. I thought he'd have a pretty good rookie season, but he's been going crazy.
No, he's definitely been going crazy. I did not expect this in the slightest. But
Another thing you got to consider is how players hold themselves in a manner like personality, social media, just their aura about them. And I think Anthony Edwards has that swagger and just that ability to take over.
I mean, Michael
Uh,
Jordan's other son.
yeah, exactly. So, so I think he's definitely got a good case to be the next face of the NBA. Whereas Tatum's more laid back. So I don't know, but everybody, let us know down below. Who do you realistically think will be the next face of the NBA? We'll go ahead and move on to the next topic at hand. More basketball talk, Stash. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's see. Which NBA team has the most pressure to perform in the playoffs this year?
Which team has the most pressure? So I'm not gonna get okay. So I'm gonna think about it for a second. Nuggets, no. You want to chip last year. You don't have to win it this year. You make it to playoffs, make it to the second round. You're pretty good. Like you're fine. It's like oh, okay, they got knocked out, but I think I think Timberwolves definitely are kind of up there because they got so much
Yeah.
talent. They should have done something more by now. I think Zion and the Pelicans have to really get something going too. He's been there for a minute. They've got pieces around him. He's staying healthy. Okay, he's like, how long can he stay healthy, and what can he do while he's staying healthy? Um,
Exactly.
that's kind of the teams on the West I'm thinking of off the top of my head. I think Boston needs to get it done. They
Yeah.
have like they got to get it done soon. Like going to the Eastern Conference Finals a lot is great.
Yeah.
I know they got beat the last time they went, but like Tatum's itching for that ring. Like he's ready for it.
It is.
So
Yeah.
I think they need to get something going. They have to like they. I think they got to win it this year. I really do. I don't know who they're playing just yet. Like I picked the Nuggets to repeat, so it may be Nuggets Boston, but we'll see. Uh, Orlando's still young, so I won't give them too much. Like I've been waiting for them to get better, and we
Mm.
haven't made the playoffs in a little bit. If I wanted a eighth or seventh seed kind of deal, but like after I watched some of the games, I was thinking I'm like I think we're at least fifth seed. I think we could get
Yeah.
squeeze in and get that fifth seed. But like we're young. Like if we get knocked out first round, oh well, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Lakers,
What about
Lakers need to.
the
This
Lakers?
may
Yeah,
be the last year for the Lakers and the
yeah.
Warriors really as grouped
Mm.
up.
Yeah, the Warriors I feel like are falling apart. I don't think they'll be able to make a deep playoff push this year. So
Phoenix needs to
the
get
Lake
something going too. Like you got knocked, you got beat.
everybody.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot to.
What about the Bucks? Milwaukee.
Bucks have a lot to prove because, like, now
Yeah.
I'm gonna quote JJ Redick on this. Like, yes, it's hard to take over a team mid-season. And like it's hard to be traded mid-season, but like you can only make that excuse for so long. Like you got
Yeah.
to get things rolling. The Bucks have Damian Lillard, who I think is a phenomenal player. He did a lot in Portland, and then you have Giannis, who the Greek Freak, who is an MVP, a defensive player of the year, won a ring. Like you've done all this already. It's incredible. And
Yep.
you're getting Damian Lillard to help you.
Mhm.
I don't understand why it's not working, more or less.
Mhm. I think they've got to kind of figure out, especially come playoff time, who's going to be that guy. They've just got to take advantage of matchups like per game. They got to take it one game at a time. And I think Dame, he can go off any given night. But you got to realize Giannis is that guy. He's the number one option on that team. And they just kind of got to even it out. I feel like some nights they're trying to just put too much on their shoulders and it doesn't work out. So they've got to have that even amount of ball distribution to really get things going in the playoffs, I feel like. But Doc Rivers, man, has not been leading that team very good so far.
No, not at all. I'm very like I thought it'd be incredible having them on the same team and Doc
Yeah.
Rivers as a coach.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about like building it up. I think that was I thought it was gonna be. I'm like, oh, that's over. It's over for the East. But
Exactly. But
Damian Lillard, I remember him hitting that shot. Like I remember the first time I really remember Damian Lillard when he hit
yeah.
the shot and waved
And
him and waved bye bye. Well, the first one he just hit over somebody to win. I think it was Houston when he hit that shot over Houston to send them home. And th-
okay, see.
and then OKC did the bye
Yeah.
bye. Oh, that was nasty. Like I'm like I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
if someone did that to me on 2K, I'd drive to their house.
Shoo. Oh, but there's one team we have yet to mention, Stash, and I think it
Detroit
is my
Pistons.
number one. Oh, not the Pistons. um, the number one team to me that has the most to prove is the Los Angeles Clippers
Ooh,
because they've got a lot of veteran players they brought in. James Harden, Russell Westbrook, who is hurt currently, fractured his hands. That's also. I'll bring up this point real quick. Every single season, right before the playoffs start, one of their star players gets hurt. Coincidence? I think not. So they've had a very bad luck with these players getting hurt right before the playoffs when they need them the most. But they've got to perform nonetheless. They've got to exceed expectations, and they've got Kawhi Leonard healthy, Paul George, James Harden's been clicking. So they've got the team, and they were looking good. They've been looking good in the West. So I've got high expectations for them this season to make a deep playoff push, and if they don't, they'll probably break it up because these guys are getting older and they've got that experience in the playoffs. They need to be able to prove to everyone else that they can make a, like I said, a deep playoff push.
go back 10 years. Go back 10 years, and I told you that James Harden didn't have a ring, that Paul George didn't have a ring, that uh, but Russell Westbrook didn't have a ring, and then Kawhi had two. You wouldn't believe me.
Mm-mm. No, it's just crazy, man. It's really wild, but I mean, that group of players. Yeah, I mean, like you said, imagine if they were. I mean, imagine if they're on the same team 10 years ago.
Oh
Like,
goodness, no, they're running the league. They might
yeah,
go like they might lose 5 games all year as long as Kawhi stays healthy.
mm, that'd be crazy. But everyone, let us know down below who do you think has the most pressure on them to perform in the playoffs this year? And we'll go ahead and move on. Stat leaders in the NBA. We got points, rebounds, and steals. But we'll just talk about the top guys here. So, who is kind of like impressed you leading the league in scoring this year?
Luka Doncic, easy, easy, 34 points, 0.5 points a game. That's
Mm.
incredible. Not only that, he also dropped 73 in a game this season. So like anything under that, he's dropping his average. But
Oh yeah,
Luka's fantastic. I think Luka's been
he is.
incredible. SGA, like I said, the dude is absolutely went off. He has impressed me so much this year, and he's got 31.2. He's
Wow.
second. Then of course you got the Greek freak Giannis with 30.8. Man's always going to put it up buckets. He's been in the league
Oh yeah.
forever. I think a lot of people forget how long he's been in the league. He was a very small guy back then. If you ever get a chance, look up Giannis when he was drafted versus now. It's incredible.
Oh, big difference. Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell with 28 points.
Mhm.
Donovan Mitchell, man, I loved him in Utah that year.
Very underrated.
Yeah,
Very underrated player.
wow, I was super impressed. Like when him and Jamal Murray could have had a game of 21 for like each
Woo.
game, I would have been fine with it. They were going off. I loved it.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I like Jamal Murray so much too is because of that.
He's got them Cavs looking good right now, man. They're
Mhm.
the second seed in the East.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If you told me the Cavs were going to be second this year, I wouldn't have believed you either.
Yeah.
And you got KD was 27.9 points, which
Mm.
KD's always been a scoring machine.
Oh yeah.
Don't discredit the Slim Reaper for a reason.
Exactly.
And then we'll move on to assists, which I can you give me a you know who's in first in assists? I think it's quite obvious who it is.
I'm gonna say Halliburton.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
11.4 a game.
Oof.
Trey
Wow.
Young, actually Trey Young's been balling out with them assists with 10.8. Oh, he's getting 10 a
Oh, that kind
game.
of surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Number 3, we got Luka Doncic again. 9.7 a game.
Mm. Getting close to that 10 mark.
Mhm. Mhm. Man's been going off. This is one of the reasons why I'm thinking he's looking at like MVP right
Yeah.
now. He's playing incredible. You got the Joker himself with 9.2. Man's going to be the new triple double king. I
Dude, his core
guarantee it.
vision is insane. His IQ and his ability to get his teammates open. Oh my gosh. Like
No, I
it's
I think they have a
ridiculous.
great team. Man, like half tries. He's out there half asleep hitting.
Dude, he plays basketball for a pastime. He just loves the country life with his brothers and the horses.
Mhm. And Domas
But yeah.
Venus for the is fifth with 8.4. I know
Mm.
I butchered his name super heavy. Sorry
Who was it?
guys. Domantius Sabonis.
Sabonis, yeah.
I can't say his first name.
He's a baller. Demonis Sabonis, yeah, he's a baller.
He's got 8.4, but he's top five.
Mhm.
And he's also leading the league in rebounds a game.
Wow. And
Third,
yet he did not make the all-star team.
that is
That is crazy.
Rudy Gobert, of course, 12.7.
Yeah,
Man will get you your
obviously.
boards every game.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Anthony Davis at third, 12.3.
Okay.
He's been staying healthy for the most part. That's been a big
Yeah, it's been.
factor.
Not a lot of people's been talking about Anthony
No,
Davis
and
this year.
I see. I'm a big guy on Anthony Davis. The man's got like him and Tony Romo have the same doctor. Like they
Yeah.
have to go see them all the time because his bones are made of glass. But Anthony Davis in college is a different story. And then like Anthony Davis in general was fantastic. It's just injuries have plagued him so heavy, and it's what's cost him
Mhm.
most of his, like a lot of his like.
If you've noticed, if you go back and watch his highlights, like Kentucky, more primarily at New Orleans with the Pelicans, dude, he was a bucket from deep. Like just perimeter shooting, Anthony Davis was that guy. And more so now he's kind of like a mid-range guy, but he plays underneath the basket a lot more. Plays more of a physical type of ball. But dude, I really enjoyed watching Anthony Davis as a kid.
Oh, definitely. And then you got Joker again at
Mm,
four with 12.2. Man's almost just averaging a triple double.
crazy.
So I mean that's what I'm saying. Like he's about to pass LeBron for triple doubles. I think and like has
Mhm.
played half the time.
That's ridiculous.
Jokic. I'm gonna call it now. I'm gonna let people know. Jokic is gonna be top 10 by the time he retires.
Oh,
It's
easily,
gonna be guaranteed.
easily.
I'm sorry.
Especially if he wins an MVP this year over Luca and Tatum and SGA and all
If
them
he wins
and Luca,
if
like
he wins a ring again, if he back to back
a ring and
champs,
an MVP. Whoo!
woo, and
This year, that'd be crazy. I
oh,
don't think he'll win a ring this year. The West is too
I
competitive, but
picked
you
him.
never know.
We'll
You
see what
never know.
happens.
You'll have to wait and see. Yeah,
Jamal Murray likes to tear it up in the playoffs.
exactly.
And then you got Jalen Duren for Detroit at five. At least somebody in Detroit's doing something.
Oh man, they got to draft Caitlin Clark, bro.
And then we'll go over blocks because blocks, yeah, Caitlin Clark.
Jokes, jokes.
Blocks, Wimby, of course,
Hmm.
3.3 blocks a game.
Wow.
Walker
Menace.
Kessler for Utah's got 2.7, and so does Brooke
Hmm. He's
Lopez.
a good
Let's
player.
not forget
Brook
about Brooke
Lopez,
Lopez.
the caveman himself.
hmm
Him
Chet
and Robin.
at 4, and Anthony Davis at 5.
Really?
Anthony Davis up in two categories.
Hmm.
And then
That's good.
my favorite category personally out of anything on this list, steals. Big steals guy. I think defense is a big part, and I think steals is
Hmm.
fantastic if you can lead the league in it. And SGA is doing that.
Hmm.
2.1 steals a game.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
And then we got one of your favorite players, Darren Fox at 2 at
Oh,
1.9.
man.
And here we go again. We were just talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers with Devon Mitchell at 1.8.
Mm.
And that's the next guy. I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm gonna be real with you because I have some names I just have a hard time pronouncing. Masset Thibault for the Portland Trailblazers with 1.8 as well,
Mm.
and Kawhi Leonard at 5.
That's pretty shocking. I didn't realize he was up there, but
Is
I
that
mean, you got to realize it's the claw. It's the claw. Yeah. But some of those names were kind of surprising on there, in different categories. But overall, I think we could agree for the points aspect that those guys up there, well deserving of it. Definitely well deserving.
Oh, definitely. MVP race is gonna come down the wire.
Ooh, there will be. But everybody, let us know if there's any shockers in these stack category leaders like points, rebounds, steals, assists, blocks. Let us know down below. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next category. Should KD be in the GOAT convo?
No, hear me out. All right. If he would have won his rings in Brooklyn, if he had won his rings in Phoenix, if he won his rings in OKC, I there would be more of a conversation. And like it just to me it tarnished his career and people can hate on that. That's fine. Like if you want to think KD's the GOAT, that's your opinion. Most people are going to tell you you're wrong. I'm sorry. But most people are going to do that. I don't think KD's in the GOAT conversation. I think there's a lot of guys you could put in the GOAT conversation. I just don't think he's one of them. He doesn't crack my top 10 for GOATs.
Oh no, he's not a top 10 player all time. I don't care what you say, he's not top 10. He's definitely one of the best players in this generation, and I would say he's for sure locked. I would say top 25 easily, top
He
25 player.
also gets very overshadowed. I think that's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
LeBron overshadowed his career a lot.
Hmm.
And not only that, but Kobe was part of that too.
Yeah.
And I mean, and looking back now, when when they went with OKC, we saw what James Harden and Russell Westbrook were. Like they saw what
Yeah.
talent he had there. He had a super team. They should have re-signed Harden, and then we could have been looking at a completely different category.
Like, hindsight is kind of 2020 though, because that was Harden coming off the bench. He was still a great player, but he he broke out of his shell in Houston when he became a star there. He was not getting the type of minutes he was in OKC as he was with Houston.
And that's fair. I just think that, like, like when you tell me that James Harden's your sixth man off the bench, you know what that means? I know my bench is scoring a bunch of points. So like,
Yeah,
it's healthy. Like James Harden against a bunch of bench players. Let's be real. Like you got. This is what I'm saying. James
yeah.
Harden was going to break out either way. I think. I think going to Houston being the star did help,
Hmm.
but I think that like you kept it together, you're winning 3 rings. I think in
Ooh.
OKC.
Ooh, that's a little bold.
I
I
they
don't know. I think they would
I
have won at least one. At least one.
They went to one. They went to one and lost to the Heat, the super team of the Heat,
Yeah. I You just got to think though.
on a
Like,
also on a lockout season. By the way, just want to throw that the
yeah,
shortened
that is
season.
true.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah, that's valid. But you got to think about the teams they would be going up against in the future, like that Warriors juggernaut that eventually came through. I mean, they wouldn't have had KD, of course, because they wouldn't have got him if KD would have stayed on OKC. Um, they would at least have one, maybe two, but there were some tough West teams around that era for sure, and they would have to get through them guys.
You had so
But
much talent right there. It's crazy. So,
there, it was
even
it was definitely
Sergio
talent
Ibaka,
show.
I mean, you just had so much. That's just whole team, man. That's crazy. Kendrick Perkins, even though I can't
I
stand
was
him as
gonna
an
say that big
analyst,
Perk.
I can't not
Yeah.
stand him as an analyst. But man, like as a player, like he helped that team too. I was like, ah,
Mm. Yeah, that was a crazy team. But let us know down below, everybody. Do you think KD should be in the GOAT debate?
if you do, you're wrong. I'm sorry.
We'll go ahead and move on to the next topic. So, little game real quick for basketball. Build the best trio in NBA history. Past and current players are available.
Best trio.
Best trio of all time.
Hmm. Ooh. I'm taking Shaq.
All right, if you use a player, I won't use a player.
Okay, okay.
How
You
about
want to
that?
go back and forth then?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Make it fair. All right, so you got Shaq for one of your players. I'm gonna go ahead and take Michael Jordan.
Okay, that's fair too. I was thinking Jordan. But I'm like, I feel like I'm like I need that big. Like Shaq was just so dominant. I'm taking Shaq.
Yeah.
I'll take LeBron.
LeBron. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna take Steph Curry
Ooh,
at my point guard. So I've got a shooter, and then I've got Michael Jordan
yeah, that's good.
controlling the rock. So I need a big man next. So you go ahead.
I'm taking Kobe.
Oh, okay. Shaq, Kobe, and LeBron. That's what's up. You worried about the floor spacing at all? Or you think they'll be all
I
right?
think it'll be fine. But who did you picking for that last spot? That's what I got.
Hmm. My center position. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Hakeem Olajuwon.
There, I knew it. I knew it. When I had picked Shaq,
Yeah.
I knew you were going to with Hakeem. I knew it.
The dream shake, baby. I think that team would be unstoppable. You got Steph shooting the ball. You've got Michael Jordan controlling the offense, distributing to Curry and Hakeem down low. Then you got number three, the center, the dream shake himself, Olajuwon down low. I think that'd be nasty.
Well, yeah. I was trying to think. I'm like LeBron. I'd have LeBron up, like bringing the ball up. Kobe is my shooter, and then like
Mm.
if I need to throw it in the middle, I know I'm getting easy buckets with Shaq.
Oh yeah.
I just don't Shaq. I don't know if anybody could guard Shaq today, man. I
Oh,
just don't know if they
that'd
could.
be. Whew.
He'd be a
So either way you look
liability.
at it,
He would be a liability for like when you got like your bigs who can shoot threes, trying to space the
yeah.
floor. Don't get me wrong, that part it'd be a little harder with today's game too. But like no one, I don't know if anyone's keeping him out of the paint. I think Shaq's just dunking
Mhm.
on everyone.
For sure. But everyone, let us know down below which trio do you like better? Do you like Stashes with Kobe, LeBron, and Shaq, or do you like mine with Curry, MJ, and Hakeem Olajuwon? Let us know. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic. A little bit of football talk, changing it up a little bit. So, what is one AFC and one NFC team that we are excited to see what they do in the offseason?
All right. Let's pick our AFC teams and we'll go to NFC
Okay.
because we're both NFC guys. I feel like
Yep.
AFC has we have to start with. So
Yep.
my team in the AFC is I wanted to see it last year. It was taken from me in week 1. Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets,
Oh man,
100%. I would have said the Texans if they hadn't made the playoffs last year.
that's fair. Yeah, Rogers coming back, man. That's gonna be a big storyline, and see how he progresses this offseason, and see what they do when they what they can build around him. Because hopefully they'll be getting some O line.
Please.
So it'll be
Rodgers not young. Come on, people.
exactly. So for my AFC team, I've got the Buffalo Bills. The Bills have got to do some soul searching, everybody, because if they don't, they're going to continue to lose in the playoffs. They got rid of their defensive coordinator, I believe, and there've been speculation about Diggs possibly wanting out, and it's just been a whole mess. So I think they realistically made a good decision to get a new defensive coordinator in that building. Maybe get some new players because they've got some guys that are getting some age on them. Jordan Poyer, some other guys in that D line that are aging, but overall their offense I don't think is a huge problem. They've got some explosive guys. I just think you gotta change up the defensive scheme maybe a little bit. Add some new players. You got to get younger on the defensive side of the ball because if you don't, you cannot allow yourself to get attached to those older guys. You got to have a competitive rebuild going on, at least for the defense.
I mean, Von Miller basically stole a bunch of money from him last year.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, that's the truth. That would be my AFC team, and I would say honorable mention, just a little quick shout out, the Indianapolis Colts.
That's
Anthony
big.
Richardson coming back.
I think
I want
actually,
to see how he does.
I think
I
he's
want to
gonna
see.
have a great year. I
I think he's going
actually,
to have a very good sophomore season.
if they
As
can
well,
get Michael Pittman Jr. back and maybe get him another weapon, I would almost say Indy wins the division next year. It's,
possibly.
I think it'll come down the wire like it did this year. Very similar. Like that last game between the two determined who went to the playoffs. I think Anthony
Mhm.
Richardson makes a play there, wins them the game.
Yeah, we could see it. We could possibly see it happening. But what is the NFC team that you're most excited for this
So
offseason to see what they do?
they got a young QB that impressed me. I've been on the hype train for him a lot. They got a pretty young squad. I'm gonna have to go with. I know that you're not gonna like this, but like I'm really excited to see the Green Bay Packers next year. I
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
am. I think Jordan Love really impressed me this year. Even though like I've joked like since he's been drafted, like hey, watch out, that's a Hall of Fame QB in the making right there.
Yeah.
So I'm just he will play for the Jets. People do not forget he will play for the Jets. Rodgers is still going to wear the Vikings uniform before he's gone. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
So
Fulfilling the prophecy.
I've got them. And I'm trying not to do a homer pick on this, so I'm not picking my Bucks, even though I'm like, oh, I'm actually kind of worried about it
Yeah.
right now. But who's your NFC team?
So my NFC team, it's gonna be between two teams. The other team, I'll give them, a shout out. But the first team is the Atlanta Falcons, just because of their situation at hand. Their their quarterback spot is very dicey because they don't know if they're going to Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, if they're going to draft a quarterback. So very intrigued to see what they do in Atlanta. Also, Kirk Cousins' wife is from Georgia, so that could have something to do with Kirk wanting to possibly come down to the Falcons, the Dirty Birds, and play. Um, but Justin Fields, I'm not sure where he's going to go. It's been rumored Pittsburgh and Atlanta have been in the mix, so we'll see how that kind of plays out in the future. But they've got so much young offensive talent, man. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson. And if they trade for L'Jarius Sneed from the Chiefs, that secondary would be crazy with Jesse Bates,
Mm-hmm.
AJ Terrell, Sneed. Whoo! So they've got some dogs on that team. So I would
I find
be
it very funny though. We end up picking in our in each other's divisions for this. This is
Yeah,
just kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
funny. I didn't even think. I was like, that's kind of neat.
Exactly, for sure.
Atlanta could be definitely
Um,
Atlanta could be scary next year, and I'm
oh,
worried
they
about them.
will
Like
be.
I don't want them to get
I
a
don't
good
want
QB. I hope they keep Desmond Ritter for as long as they want.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
and like I'm a division rivals. I'm gonna talk a little trash about Desmond Ritter, but like I don't think his coach should talk trash about him.
No.
I did have a little issue with that, but oh well.
I think they probably should have gotten an offensive minded head coach in order for them to really unlock the capabilities of their playmakers, but we'll see how that unfolds. Another defensive minded head coach comes in the building. Year one head coach. I think it'll be okay. Um, Anything's better than what they had though with Arthur Smith. um, but yeah, that's my team. And then my honorable mention would probably be the Dallas Cowboys. Just to see what they do in this offseason. They have been failing us.
Dak
They've been
Prescott.
failing. Yeah, Dak Prescott. We'll see if they re-sign him and if they can get past the first round of the playoffs for once.
I mean, they got past not last year, year before. They got the divisional.
Yeah,
They just can't get past the divisional.
the division round. Yeah, exactly. So, everybody, let us know down below. Who are you most looking forward to this offseason in the NFC and AFC? But we'll go ahead and move on to a little bit of hockey talk, surprisingly. So, who is the best young star in the NHL? You want me to start or do you want to start,
I think I
Stash?
got this.
But
I've been paying attention, been looking into this. Connor Bernard.
mm,
He's for the Chicago Blackhawks.
hmm
Dude's played 47 games, got 41 points. He scored 41
wow.
goals, and he's got 24 assists. Or
Mm,
he's got 17 goals. My bad, 17 goals.
mm,
I was looking at the different stat, and he's got 24 assists as well on top of that. So I think that's pretty incredible, especially being a rookie. I'm kind of excited to see what else he can do for like he's very high right now going into it.
oh yeah,
Would you-
sounds like definitely a productive player that's been putting up some pretty amazing stats so far this season. Um, my player for the NHL that I feel like is very deserving of this talk is Jack Hughes. He plays. He was drafted number one overall by the New Jersey Devils. Injuries have limited him in his young career, but this season has kind of been his breakout and kind of meeting the expectations of what he was drafted to be. He's 21 years old and he's on an 8-year contract. Pretty amazing stuff. He has had 16 goals and 36 points in 31 games, putting him within reach of 40 goals and 90 points by the end of the season. Um, he's a skilled offensive forward, starting to really dominate in the NHL. And that's just some of the stats I've looked up about him. But sounds like he's having a very good season and probably going to end up in, having a very productive end of the year. But we'll have to wait and see with those two players. But those guys are kind of breaking out and making a name for themselves finally.
Heck yeah, like you gotta like the young talent coming in.
Oh, yeah. But we'll go and move on to another hockey topic. Who is the most underrated NHL team that will succeed in the playoffs?
I think the team to look out for this year is I think it's the Golden Knights in Vegas.
Mm,
They're ranked third in the Pacific right now, but I think they're the team to watch out for when it comes playoff time. Like I don't know if you remember
mm.
they won the Stanley Cup like the first year they were created.
Yeah,
So don't
they
forget.
did.
So I think it may be their year.
I could see it.
My Lightning are work on their way downhill. You know, they're having some issues, but like our players are getting older, so that's part of it.
Yeah, just one of those things having to get young at the positions and having hardly any experience definitely hurts a team because having those vets around a locker room and just giving advice to those young players definitely need that. But for my team, I think that's going to be the most underrated and have a good chance at making a run is the Nashville Predators. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. So they've been putting up some pretty crazy stats here recently. They're on an 8-game winning streak. So, I mean, they've been putting it together, and I think they'll have a pretty good run at things. They're the 8th seed in the Western Conference currently. Um, but yeah, I like the Predators making a deep run.
Here's the thing: I think some people in the South don't realize this, but Nashville is definitely a hockey town.
Oh, for sure.
It's very
The Pre
much.
Nashville loves them Predators. Yeah. I've yet to been to a game, but that's on my bucket
Yeah,
list
we
for
need to go
sure.
do that sometime.
That'd be cool. Yeah. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic. So, Lamar versus Michael Vick debate. Who's better?
Passing or running?
Quarterback, just in general.
I'd probably say Lamar because he's got the accomplishments, but
Yeah,
part of me also wants to. I don't know if Lamar has the same competition that Vic had. So
true.
I mean, you have Patty Mahomes. That's it. And Patty Mahomes got two MVPs.
Yeah.
So besides that, that's it. Like
hmm
I would have to go right now. I'd probably say Lamar,
Mm.
even though I don't know. I still don't have Lamar as a top 10 running QB of all time yet. Next season he probably will be, but I mean he's right on that right there. He's like probably like 12 or 11.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair to say. I would definitely put Lamar above Michael Vick right now. I mean, if you look at the stats, he's got more passing yards, and his completion percentage is a lot better than Vick's was. I just think he's a better pure passer of the football, and the ability to run on the ground. I think he's more elusive than Vic was. But Vic, I mean, back in the day, um, his ability to rush the ball was, I mean, that was like,
I think
besides Randall Cunningham, that was like the first really where everyone bought in and watched Vic play at such a high level running the football.
Vic also had issues off the field that caused a lot of
Mhm.
like stuff, but I think I think like I remember watching Vic. He terrorized my Bucks. Man, twice a year, man. It was not
Mm,
fun. Vic
not at
Vic was a
all.
different breed though. Like Vic was how do I put it? Vic ran so Lamar could sprint. Like he really helped change the position too, having that mobile QB and really like getting it going. Like Randall Cunningham as well, but like
Mhm.
there was not that many running QBs back then. A lot more pocket passers, and that's fine. I actually still prefer pocket passers myself because like
Yeah.
the mobility is great, and I like watching people escape. Like Patty Mahomes is probably the best of both worlds in my opinion. Like he is the best pocket passer slash mobile QB because he can
Mhm.
make plays on his legs, even though it looks like everyone else is in slow motion.
Oh yeah.
But I would say Lamar. Uh, I will say Vic never had the defense Lamar has had. I will throw that
Yeah.
out there, but
Very true.
I will. But I'm going to go with Lamar on this.
I agree with you for sure. Not to discredit Mike Vick at all. He was a great player in his time, but I think Lamar is the better quarterback here. But let us know down below, who do you think is a better quarterback all time, Lamar or Vick? Let us know down below. We'll go ahead and move on to the next topic. Who is one player in the NFL poised for a breakout year two this upcoming season?
Oh, we were already talking about him earlier. Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. Anthony Richardson is going to have a breakout year this year. The I don't. I think everyone. I think actually this may be a hot take. I kind of have this weird feeling C.J. Stroud is not going to play bad, but I think he'll play a little less,
Just regress a little bit.
just a little bit, not much. I think Anthony
Mhm.
Richardson has a breakout year. Like what he didn't get to accomplish in year one, he's going to accomplish in year two.
I mean, I could definitely see it. If he can stay healthy and stop just running the ball up the middle every play,
Dude
I
is
mean,
incredible.
he's just physically gifted. I mean, he's incredible. His intangibles are wild, but some freak accidents happen in sports. It's inevitable, but he's just got to be able to take care of his body on those runs better. Um, but yeah, if he's able to stay healthy, he'll have a great year, I feel like. But for my pick, a little underrated, Pittsburgh Steelers, Darnell Washington,
Okay.
tight end.
Okay.
I think he's going to have a great year. Pat Fryermuth is a solid tight end, but this guy coming out of Georgia was a physical specimen, man. He was huge. I don't know why they're not using him as much as they've, thought about because he was drafted pretty high.
Oh,
Um,
he's Kyle
uh,
Pitts.
he's a lot bigger than Kyle
No,
Pitts. He's like
he's.
6'7".
Ooh, I'm just saying in
Yeah,
general. Like, oh,
6'7",
you have this
270, 60.
great tight
Yeah.
end, and you're not going to use him.
Exactly. So I think in year two, he's poised for a breakout year. I think they use him a lot more this season with a new quarterback being able to get him the ball.
Justin Fields.
um, yeah, so we'll we'll see what quarterback is throwing Darnell Washington the football this upcoming season. But I like our picks. Do you agree with Stash and Anthony Richardson more, or with JT and Darnell Washington? Let us know down below. But next topic at hand, we got which MLB team has the greatest chance at winning it all this season? Spring training coming up here right
Hmm.
now. I've got the LA Dodgers. I know they're the heavy favorite right now.
I,
Shohei
I,
Ohtani
they're
is
not.
gonna
It's
deliver
not
them
gonna
a
happen.
championship.
It's not gonna happen. As long as Shoei stays in LA, it's not gonna happen. I'm
He's the
sorry.
best, dude. He's the best baseball player
I agree with you.
ever.
I don't know if ever. Probably ever. Probably ever.
Ever.
The way I'm, but
Babe Ruth.
no, I wasn't gonna say Babe Ruth. But no, that's I don't know, no, not Babe Ruth. But anyways, no, I would say I just don't see it getting done. I I have this. I don't know what it is. I just feel like it's like a curse on LA. He's just not gonna get it done in LA.
Yeah.
He's got to go somewhere else, even though he's got a fat contract. Someone else will take that fat contract for him,
I mean, the Dodgers are setting themselves up, man. On paper, it looks good, but then the Yankees look good on paper, like last year and the year before last with Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge. So things happen, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But which team would you pick if you had to say?
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna pick a random team. Actually, I think I'm gonna pick.
Yeah.
I am going to pick this completely, just completely blind on it. I think I'm gonna go with the Houston Astros. They win it
Okay,
all.
that's
They win
valid.
it all this year. Predicted it now.
Hey,
Oh,
we're gonna write this down and see who is correct.
it's gonna be the Houston
I think
Astros. They may
I think
cheat.
of that. I
They may
think
cheat, but they get it done.
yeah, exactly. I think the Dodgers got this one locked, but we'll see. Do you agree with Stash or do you agree with JT on their picks? Let us know down below. Who do you think is gonna have the best chance at winning the MLB World Series this year?